Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades as per usual. And right now, we're going to dive right into the analysis. So we'll start off with the SPY. So the SPY has taken out the July high, and now we're going to be focusing, we're going to be focusing on the bullish count here, which is going to be essentially a new all-time high. And again, it doesn't have to go to 510 or 540 or anything like that on the SPY. But we should be taking out the pivot right around 480, which is essentially the all-time high for the S&P 500. And I'll just draw a line here for you guys so you guys can kind of see what I'm looking at here. We've broken past this big downsloping trend line as well, which is very good, right, in terms of bullishness. If you are trying to be bullish in the markets, you've overcome it, you retested support. Again, we remain extremely overextended. We've been overextended essentially since these highs here. It's been going on for a while, and we've been floating up on light volume. So that's what's been going on as well. 64 million shares traded today. We should be coming back down in a ABC correction. Again, I don't know what that is going to happen. I don't know what's going to be the catalyst for it, but we do have some pretty big events coming up pretty soon. We have tomorrow that we got the CPI coming out at 8:30 in the morning. It is supposed to be dropping down to 3.1%. And after that, we got the 30-year bond auction. So if that goes well, then yields should be dropping, and that would be even more bullish for the markets, right? But given how extended we are, I wouldn't be surprised to see inflation coming hotter than expected, or even the bond auction not going well, right? So that would ensue the ABC correction, and we don't even have to pull back to 430, right? We could just pull back to even this downsloping trend line that we got here, like a retest of it, right? Come back down in ABC like that, and that could finish the wave 2 there. And you could maybe even fill a gap, right? You could even fill a gap. We got a lot of gaps down here. So again, maybe those will fill, but again, there's no guarantee, right? So we're up essentially from the lows here that I mean, they hit my buy area, and we rallied 12% in the S&P, which is extreme. It's an extreme rally. Now we should be pulling back. Maybe we'll pull back something like 5% in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, overall, that's essentially what I'm thinking now. In the S&P, we can take a look at the IWM. IWM doing basically a similar pattern that we got here, a bit of a micro pattern here. And we put in a little bit of a nominal high in a wave 5 here. So maybe this was your wave 3, and then this was your 4, and now you did 5. Right now you're just doing an ABC correction, or you could just continue to extend the 5th wave a little bit higher, right? You probably go back to the 191 area, which is wouldn't be too surprising to me, right? Another 2% pump in the IWM, the small caps. But yeah, overall, when I look at the charts here, the Marcus Cipher is showing that the 5th wave is finished. But always look at the bigger time frames, the bigger picture. The weekly is showing that we can extend higher. The monthly is showing that the B is in, right? Or the B was almost in. But now it's shifting to the bullish side. You expanding momentum waves once again. You got green money flow in almost every sector, basically every sector on the monthly time frame. And then the IWM is getting a green dot here. So things are looking up for the markets, especially the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Things are looking real good. It looks like almost nothing can derail this market at this point, but we are very extended. We're overdue for a pullback. Looking at the smaller time frames, you can see the 4-hour. The 5th wave could end at any moment here. This is the Elliott wave count, but I have it as a wave 1 of a new cycle. But yeah, they should be finishing up at any moment. If that's the case, then you'll pull back in an ABC. Looking at wave edge, I don't see anything bad on the daily, nothing on the 4-hour and the 1-hour. Let me just see here. Nothing on the 1-hour here either. So overall, just waiting patiently for the pullback, and when it does come, that will, in my opinion, be a very big buy the dip opportunity. Okay. Let's take a look here at the IWM on the smaller time frames as well. So just a little red cross here, 4 hour. We got some selling today, so we did get a little bit of a sell signal on the IWM. Maybe we'll get hotter than expected inflation tomorrow, right? You never know. And then you can take a look at the futures. Nothing on the futures on the Dow, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, and I mean, we already got our selling signals, or the big money that we're selling on the Russell. So yeah, that's basically it. Let's take a look here at. Let me just get over. I actually wanted to take a look at the VIX. So the VIX, I mean, you guys can probably tell the VIX is in a very oversold condition. We're at the 12.64 area, and you can see on the VXX or VIXY or UVX or UVIX. You're seeing a lot of accumulation right now, right? So this is essentially hedge funds and funds buying protection, right? Because they themselves are worried about current market conditions too, right? I mean, everything is so extended, they are starting to buy protection, and they usually buy it at the lows, all right? They could start accumulating for a couple of weeks in advance, as they have been since the beginning of or early on in November, right? The late November. And you can see that it can lead to big spikes, like 40% spikes in the UVIX, and it can happen in like 2-3 days, right? After that, right, you can get a big retrace in the UVXY, and then it'll continue to decay, which means the markets will continue to go up. Okay, so yeah, you're seeing that on all of the index, not all the indexes, all of the leverage ETF products and non-leverage ones, and you can take a look at the short. The short ETF one, that one is actually it should be finished at any moment. You can see the volatility went down today again, which caused the SBUX, which is short the VIX futures, went up again. But once volatility goes down, this is going to go down significantly, right? But it doesn't mean that it's going to make a new low or anything like that. So that's basically what I got for you guys right now. Again, obviously there's a lot of bearish fundamentals, but that may not occur, and there's going to be a lot of dumb money flooding the market. So there's going to be a lot of dumb money pushing this up, and you don't want to get in front of that, right? So right now, the bearish count that we've had before has been invalidated. This wave 2 is too far gone. You've passed the wave 1, so now what you have to do is you got to count it as this bullish scenario that I have going on here. And if you are still looking for the super mega bearish scenario, you'd have to count this as like an A and B and a C, right? But then all this count here would change up. So you'd have to count this maybe as a WXY, right, on ABC, or so you'd have to change it up. Maybe I'll change it up for you guys, and I'll do some more work on it. But yeah, I mean, look how much buying you're getting. Look how much FOMO you're getting at the moment. There's a lot of FOMO in the market. There's a lot of people are loading up right now, and you're gonna get a flush, kind of like what we got in crypto recently. So I mean, you could see all that FOMO, right? So all the people buying up now, right? Kind of similar price action to what we've gotten in the S&P, just a gentle float up, right? And look what happened. We got a very big drop today, down 10%. In like a single day. Bitcoin got a huge drop. We're getting a bounce now, right? We're very oversold in the smaller time frames. It's only normal that we're gonna get a bounce. But don't ever discount the fact that we can go lower, right? Or sorry, at the very least get a retrace, right? Because you gotta stop out these people that are getting greedy in the market. But yeah, let's get to the individual names here. This is not a crypto channel. This is about stocks. And if you guys want a crypto, you guys can sign up, or not sign up, but subscribe to Crypto Mickey, right? And then you guys can get my take on Bitcoin. So let's take a look here. We'll start off with PayPal. And if you guys want me to take a look at your ticker, just leave a comment in the section, and then I'll just take a look at it for you guys. So right now, a PayPal should be finished. This count here could be finishing up in wave 4. It's just taking its time. But yeah, could it push higher? Yeah, it could. It could technically extend the 5th wave. I'm not really making any 5-wave moves here. I'd maybe a 1, 2, and maybe you should be going up in a 3 and a 4 and a 5, which could extend PayPal back up to 65, right? But yeah, right now it could be finished technically. And again, maybe I've counted this wrong, but this is what I've seen so far. So it should be finished and coming back down. I think it needs one more low for the longer term. And then you could set in a huge long-term bottom, but this could spend months and weeks here trading sideways before you get that big rally, that big burst up. Let's take a look, which means, that's which would kind of fall in line with the SPY coming down with one more drop before a huge rebound higher. Like if you think this was vertical, like wait till you see the wave 3 that's going to come after the pullback. It's going to be like almost a straight shot up, and it's going to be the final blow off top. And the wave 4, right, could be like a tiny little retrace, and then a huge wave 5 as well, right? So that you think this is vertical, wait till you see that. Let's take a look at Starbucks. So Starbucks right now getting a beautiful rally today. So again, it looks like the wave 1 is in. Now you should be coming up in a corrective wave. So now what I'm seeing here is your first wave A. Right, so you're seeing wave A, B, and a C. So I don't see 5 waves just yet. Right now, maybe a 1, 2. So right now, it looks like what you're doing here, you're in a 1, a 2, and a 3. Could the 4 be finished? I don't think so. I think you're still in 3, and then you'll do 4 and a 5. So maybe the 3 extends higher, and then yeah, something like that. And then you'll finish up, right? Then you'll finish up, and then you'll have to take your profits on your trades and move on to the next opportunity in the market. So yeah, this is Starbucks looking good to head to 102. Once we get there, I'll plot out some more targets for you guys. But yeah, this is what I have right now. Let me just draw a little bit of a resistance area here. So yeah, right around this area here is where you should be finishing up. Let's take a look at, let me see what I have on my list here. I got a big list of things I want to take a look at, but I'll just cover a few names as per usual. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, again, the big caps right now are struggling, which is kind of interesting because the Qs were up today. So right now, NVIDIA is down 1.85%. I still believe it should be coming up just a little bit higher in wave C, but could it already be finished? Yeah, technically you've made a little bit of a nominal high here in NVIDIA, which means the wave 2 could be in and you'll be coming down in wave 3. But what I would like to see is the wave 2 extend maybe a little bit higher, and then you'll start to come back down. We'll take a look at Apple. So Apple actually got a pretty big drop today, considering it's a very sizable name, down 1.29%. And at the moment, you're still holding this upsloping trend line, right? This bullish trend line, which means you're still in an uptrend. Until you break it, then you can start to consider that you might be starting to begin the wave 2, right? So overall, it overshot my short area. But you basically almost tagged the all-time high, and you almost made an all-time high, but you came back down, right? And then we could take a look here at Meta. So Meta is essentially in a similar situation as all the other mega caps. I think I'd have this as a 5 wave up, or so this is not an ABC. It might be a WXY. But overall, I mean, these mega caps can keep floating up. And, if the markets wants to go higher, we're going to have to see these mega cap names push a lot higher. You're going to have to go to all-time highs in these names, right? And looking at the semiconductor today, the semiconductor index, it made another high today. It made another all-time high. I believe this is an all-time high. Yeah. So the semis made another all-time high. And you're actually at 2.40% to 2.4% today. So it's at 166.23. So now, I mean, could it be finished? Yeah, I mean, I don't have a count on the SMH, but the semis are when all is fine in the semis, right? When there's nothing wrong, you could just the markets can keep going up, right? But when they fail, you better bail. let's take a look at, I think some people were talking about gold. We'll take a look at gold actually. So gold, I know we had a new all-time high being made in gold. Now it's starting to retrace, right? When is the retrace going to end? I don't know. But overall, now that you've pierced it, you kind of know where the trend is going to be. And this is very bullish for gold. So all of this downwards price action that we're getting, it's just going to be a buy to dip opportunity to load up on miners such as like Newmont Mining, which is the biggest mining company in the world. Newmont, right, is going to be a great buy. You can take a look. You can, if you really want to be risk on, you can start to dabble into the smaller names like First Majestic or Silver Core Metals, right? These minor names have been beaten up recently. Another one, big one, Anglo American, has been hammered down 20% recently. So again, these are all very small names. So kind of like altcoins in the crypto market. If you want to speculate, that's kind of what it is. But yeah, overall, the precious metals should be rallying next year as the Fed will have to inevitably at one point cut rates, which will cause the dollar to implode. Unless they don't and they keep raising rates and the market keeps rallying regardless. But I don't see that happening. I see rates going lower. Maybe, just a little bit more before they have to find the floor. When they do find their floor, maybe that's when the market tops out and goes lower because they thought they were going to get 0% interest rates again, but really they could only get 3 or 2. And then you'll have to go higher in rates because you print all this. You're gonna have even more inflation. Take a look at natural gas. So natural gas actually a humongous down day today. It was down like 10% at one point from the previous close down to the bottom. And what happened is you got a big bottoming tail. So this is actually quite bullish here. Even though it was a big down day, it kind of flushed out probably all the longs. You got a huge tail. Lots of buying coming in to support nat gas. We could take a look at UNG. I bet UNG got hammered today. Yeah, so UNG got hammered even lower today. Let's see if we got any significant buying maybe on the smaller time. You're seeing all this accumulation. So again, this is probably like your final flush before you go higher. And it's looking really well. Everything's looking quite good for nat gas. And even though for the long term, I know right now a lot of people don't seem to be enjoying this downwards price action. That's just normal, right? Because we're if you're long and we are long, and this starts to happen, it's kind of upsetting. We could take a look at nat gas on the daily on Market Cipher. You could probably tell that we're a little bit oversold right now. Actually, we're quite oversold, not just a little bit. So we're due for a bounce, and the bounce could be coming at any moment. And then once that happens, you could start a larger move up, unless it wants to do a lower low, which would mean that we're in a fifth wave, right? In a fifth wave of a larger cycle. But anyways, I'll get you guys on the next one. I don't really have much to add today. Thanks for watching. Peace.